Alright, so the time is 8:44 p.m. and it is November the 8th. Welcome to another video from Great Lakes Weather. Hopefully you are just hopping on and visiting this channel. Welcome to the channel. If you've been watching this for a while, you've probably noticed that our background has changed from red to blue and pink. That is in recognition of the winter weather that is on the way this week. Yes, it is finally here. The end of this week, we are going to see our first measurable snowfall. Looks like we could see 1 to 3 inches of snow, maybe possibly more if models continue to show more of an intensification of the system that's going to be bringing the snow near the end of the week. So we are going to dive into that. We're going to dive into all the ingredients that are coming together to produce this snowstorm. Before we get into that, I wanted to show you all the ways to get connected. We've updated our social screen, which was desperately needed. So you can scan that QR code. If you're watching on desktop, scan it with your phone, and then you can access our website that gives you all the connections that you would need. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, all those different places, or you can text GLWSWMI to 81010 if you live specifically in Southwest Lower Michigan, and you will receive updates in that regard. You can also check out the other text notification systems we have by scanning that QR code and accessing our website. So that is what I wanted to show you there. We are going to dive in to the actual models and take a look at what is on our way in regards to weather. So let's dive right into that. Okay, so if you are looking now at the height anomaly, the 500 millibar height anomaly, this is looking at temperature trends or differences in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So this is the current time, or as of 1 p.m. today, because this is 5 hours back. But you can see that there is a nice warm ridge. This reddish is indication that it's warmer in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So this ridge is what's keeping our temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and it's been keeping it in the mid 60s over the weekend, which has been quite a nice change from what we had beforehand. And that ridge is going to continue for the next several days, which is going to bring rain, which is later on going to allow for it to be rain rather than snow. So this ridge is going to keep us in the warm side with temperatures in the 50s over the next few days. And then gradually as we move into the next few days, so now we're in Wednesday morning, the ridge is going to start to deteriorate and make way for a nice upper level trough. An upper level trough indicates that there is colder air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and what we know about cold air is that cold air likes to sink, and when cold air sinks, that's when we see much colder air on the lower levels of the atmosphere as well. This is a pretty deep trough, and it's going to sit right over the Great Lakes region, right over it. So as we continue this cycle, it looks like it gets extremely deep as we get towards places such as eastern Ohio, the New England regions, and then another trough builds in right behind that that's also pretty deep as well. So big sharp blast of cold air is on its way, and that is what's going to be bringing us the possibility for snowfall. This isn't going into the long range models, so the possibility of this panning out is getting gradually lower, but this right here, this trough right here, appears to give us a nice likelihood of cold air and potential for snow associated with the system moving through along with this trough later on through Friday through about Monday. So we're going to be dealing with snow, and we're going to look at the different temperature models or the different weather models that depict this snowfall right now. We're looking at it entirely from the GFS model. The other models we can't really get the best reading on just yet. We're going to have to wait for the next couple of days in order to get model readings for the particular models like the HRR, the NAM, ECMWF. If these models tend to agree with each other, we could look at the possibility of our first measurable snowfall of the season. So let's look now at the temperature graphics. So if we go back, this is what the temperature was like earlier today. So temperatures in the 60s, even down in parts of Texas have 80 degrees. On the back side of this, you can see temperatures in the northwestern part of the continental United States are in the 40s. So that's what is going to be kind of gradually approaching our region as we approach nightfall tonight. It's going to get back down to the 40s. That's already happening. It's kind of late in the evening. And then it's going to get warm again. We're going to see temperatures in the 50s in a lot of places. And right there, if you can't see it, as it progresses, that cold front on Thursday is what's going to bring us our change in our weather. So you have that cold front, the temperature difference between the 60s and the 40s. That is what's going to change our weather coming pretty quickly. So on Friday, you can already tell temperatures are getting kind of cold in the 30s, even parts of the teens in Minnesota, Wisconsin. So the cold blast is on the way, and it looks like it's going to stick around. This is also factoring in wind chill. So this is what it will feel like outside, not just the air temperature outside. And look at that. We're going to get down already into sub-zero in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin. So it's going to be quite a bit to look forward to in regards to cold air on the way later on next week. This is into Tuesday of next week. So we're looking at a pretty cold air mass associated with that upper level trough and the passage of that system, which will bring us snow most likely. And that cold front, that cold ridge is just going to dive way down into even parts of Florida might see temperatures in the 30s, or wind chills in the 30s. So it's going to get pretty cold. The first cold blast of the season going to arrive next week, mid-November. It's going to be something we got to keep an eye on. But before we continue on with that, I wanted to show you the actual system that may produce the snowfall later on this week. Now, this snowfall is going to come following a stronger low pressure system that may even produce some severe weather in parts of the plains in the south, which is pretty surprising for late season. Right now we've got this nice ridge of high pressure with the warm air from the south, this southern high pressure system that's going to really just settle for a little bit. But then as we get into Wednesday, you can kind of see this low pressure system developing. This is developing along that ridge, this ridge right here. So if you pay attention to how these two connect here. So this is Wednesday at about 11 p.m.-ish. And this is Wednesday at about 1 p.m.-ish. You can kind of tell that where this line is along the Dakotas, the plains, that ridge, that gap in that ridge is right there too. So that gap between the ridge and the trough is really where these low pressure systems can really take off and thrive, because you have that cold air and warm air collision going on right in that area. So that's where this storm's really going to fire up, and look at how quickly it fires up. It's going to produce some impressive thunderstorms across parts of Iowa, even some risk for some severe weather in some of those areas. So parts of the plains should definitely be aware of that. And on the backside, you have this snowfall with the nice cold air mass that's coming in behind it. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and pay attention to whether that snowfall will continue on the backside. So that cold front, very strong cold front, is going to move through. Behind that, we're going to get wind, and then rain. Any rain that stays on the backside of it will begin to transition to snow too. And then we'll also be looking at the possibility of lake effect. Lake temperatures along Lake Michigan are in the 50s, which is pretty warm for this time of year, which will definitely provide the fuel for that lake effect snow machine. Across parts of Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, even Lake Erie could see some lake effect snow on Friday into Saturday. That's where we could get some minor snow accumulations of probably around 1 or 2 inches. No, not really too much. And on Lake Superior, you'll probably get a lot more than was forecast in southwest Michigan. But let's keep running with this model. Saturday night, we're now getting into Sunday. This new low pressure system forms along the backside of this trough that's moving through right now. You have it right in between a trough and a ridge where that low pressure system forms. Let's actually connect that with the height anomaly, the upper levels of the atmosphere, let's scroll on forward. So the low pressure system is expected to form right at the same time, right about here. So it's forming right on that cross or intersection between the ridge and the trough. So that's usually where we see low pressure systems form, and that's usually where we see them travel. So it's going to really follow along the edge of this trough here, this low pressure system, and we're going to be on the north side of it, which will give us the greater chance for more snowfall. So let's see that play out in the precipitation model. So you see kind of actually some more heavy snow than we would typically see across northern Indiana, northern Ohio, southern Michigan, all the way up the state of Michigan. Looks like could see some snow from this. So, and then pretty much a lot of Ohio. So even the Cedarville region could see some snow come next week. So your first snowfall may come early in the season as well. And then the lake effect snow machine will fire up again on the backside because there will be more cold air behind the low pressure system that moves through. So lake effect snow again, and then by Monday we should begin to see it clear out, and then the ridge will build back in and begin to warm things up once again. So that's really what is going to be going down. Let's take a look at the actual snowfall totals. We'll go to the winter weather map. So this is measuring snowfall based on a 10-to-1 ratio, so the amount of rainfall that we would receive typically. So an inch of rainfall is comparable to 10 inches of snow. And that's what this snowfall map is going to be measuring. The amount of precipitation that falls in the form of rain, how much snow we could receive based on that graphic. So this is Friday, that lake effect snow machine starts up. We have about an inch of snow on the ground in some places, even 6 inches of snow in parts of extreme western Michigan, so the Upper Peninsula. And then there's that winter storm firing up on Sunday, moving across Minnesota, Wisconsin. Looks like we could see upwards. This model's putting out 9 inches of snow. I think that's a little bit liberal for that. I think we're going to see less than that. And also the temperatures are going to be in the mid-upper 30s. So we have to consider that in regards to, is this snow going to stick or not? Okay, so big questions are, is the snow going to stick? And when it sticks, how much are we going to get? So I can pretty much be certain that we will most likely see measurable snow at the end of this week. So that's going to be the big story in regards to what I'm tracking. And then we'll see temperatures warm back up into the 50s following the snow, and then around Tuesday and into Wednesday, we'll see warmer temperatures once again. All right. So that pretty much covers all I wanted to show you. The overall idea is that a cold air mass is going to be making its way into the Great Lakes region, and it's going to be bringing a very decent potential for snowfall, perhaps a winter storm across southern lower Michigan, northern Indiana, and parts of Ohio, including as far south as the Cedarville region. So that's going to be the big news, and that's going to be the big topic. So hopefully this video was helpful to you in getting that point across. Get out the snow boots and get out the shovels, and also get out those winter coats, because cold air is coming and it's going to stick around over the next several days, starting around Thursday. So keep that in mind, and hopefully we can keep you updated on it as the models change, because models are always ever changing. So we will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.